Wow, we have a really pretty good sized Saltillo tear out job here, out here in Cave Creek, Arizona. This is the first time that we're seeing this job. The customer kind of told us it's about 1,800 feet over the phone. Of course, we have all the Saltillo base around the edges that we're going to pull off. It's probably going to shape up to be about a 2-day job, most likely. We'll know more once we get our jackhammers on it. So, it's pretty much through the whole house. Just everywhere. And it's this old, ugly, I mean, whoever did it really did a bad job to install it in the first place. Saltillo is so out of style. It's so much work to try to maintain. I'm not sure what they're going to be putting back down. I just know that they want all this old Saltillo out of here. Pretty interesting. Full house. So this is kind of what we're starting with right here. We're going to take some videos when we're doing this. We'll pull the vacuum hoses from our DustRams and stuff to kind of show you really the amount of dust that would be involved if you tried to do it the old-fashioned way. The way that we're going to do it is virtually dust-free. So if you'll notice here, Edwin has got the vacuum hoses, hold those up there. We've got them actually disconnected. He's going to lay them down on the ground. And we're going to turn this grinder on. Luckily, there's nobody living in this house. It's a vacant home. We're going to demonstrate what happens if you were to hire the average person that was going to come out and maybe they were going to try to grind off the thin set, or maybe you thought you were going to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and rent yourself a grinder. This is what would happen. Okay, so earlier you've seen that there's distinct phases to removing Saltillo. Because it's such a thick product, it is usually the most toughest type of flooring to remove, and you can see the debris pattern after you break it up. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like after you get it picked up, and you can see there's just a giant amount of, you know, loose debris all over the floor. And we do a pretty good job of capturing that dust throughout the whole process. And as you can see, even though it looks as dirty as it does, look how clean really, you know, it is inside these cabinets. So the cool thing is really the dust doesn't really migrate and like go like inside of things. But if you were going to do a Saltillo removal and you had like a whole house, in this case, this whole house was 100% Saltillo we've removed, you would want to get all the furniture out of the house, in the garage or in a pod or something. There's just no other way to make any kind of decent time. But you would not have to really remove contents from your cabinets, so that means you don't have to empty out your pots and pans and your dishes and things like that. But you do want everything pretty much off of all your horizontal surfaces, so that when we're done, you know, we can go through and do a final vacuum. A final cleaning of this home, believe it or not, is only going to require about 30 minutes with our vacuums, because we capture it so well all the way through the stage that it just never becomes overwhelming. So without the DustRam system, the dust would be just unimaginable. You just couldn't even comprehend how much dust would be involved. So I guess that's what makes the DustRam system, I think, so valuable. All right, so we've already dumped a load just like this right here. This is going to be probably about 120 buckets worth of Saltillo. Just kind of want to show everybody kind of what's involved. You can see what we've got going on here. There's just a lot of stuff. I got a little bit more back here. We're going to have to dump this and come back tomorrow. That right there is about 275 pounds of dust, and that's just one of them. We're probably going to have about 6 of those when we're done. It's crazy how much work Saltillo is and how much volume it takes up. So we'll have this thing finished tomorrow. Whew. A lot of work. So I just kind of like to do this now at the end of every job if I get a chance. I like to show the amount of buckets that we have that are, you know, filled up with dust. Now one of them we already took to the shop this morning and dumped it, so there would technically be 7 buckets here. But we calculate somewhere around 1,800 pounds of dust we've collected, and it's kind of our secret of how we can leave the home so clean. Well, this is the second day and we are done. It took about 20 hours with 5 guys, 6 vacuums, 2 DustRams, 2 TG10 grinders, along with our DustRam edgers. But we have removed all this Saltillo tile from the inside of this house, and without a doubt we have left it cleaner than we found it. The damage to the concrete from our little chipping hammers is very, very minor compared to what would have been experienced if more of a traditional way of removing these floors of the Saltillo would have occurred. That one job in Fountain Hills that a customer called us on, and a company came out with a ride-on floor stripper and completely destroyed this guy's concrete. And I believe, if I remember correctly, it was about $2,700 for me to repair his concrete after this other company went through and tore out his Saltillo. Not only that, but they left his home in completely a big filthy mess. Do you see all these big giant grooves and stuff coming through here? Well, the gentleman had Saltillo tile in this house, and he hired a company to come out for about maybe, I think he said $2.39 a square foot. They came out here and they pulled the Saltillo out, and because they had no way to really get the thin set off well, they came back through and just destroyed their floors trying to get all the thin set and stuff off the floor. So now he's left with these giant craters that of course are now going to have to be fixed.